Welcome, beautiful souls, to Soul Whisper with Vanshi. Tonight, I invite you to breathe with me for a moment. Inhale softly and exhale gently. And allow yourself to arrive fully in this sacred space. In this channel, we journey together through the whispers of the soul, exploring dreams, prayers, reflections, and the mysteries of the heart. Each time we gather here, it is not by accident. You are here because your soul is seeking deeper truth, gentler light, and greater love. For many of us, the path of spiritual awakening can feel both wondrous and challenging. We walk through questions, through signs, through the subtle nudges of the universe. We meet people who shift our hearts, and we encounter experiences that change the way we see ourselves and the world. And among these experiences, there is something many have come to know as the twin flame journey. It is more than just romance, more than longing. It is a mirror of our soul, a path that pushes us to grow, to heal, and to awaken to the love we already carry within. So in this episode, I will share with you the signs, the myths, and the truths about twin flames. We will go beyond the illusions and to reach into the heart of what this journey truly means. But before we begin, allow your heart to soften and imagine yourself surrounded by golden light, safe and embraced by the love of the divine. Whatever brought you here today, trust that it was meant for you. Trust that these words will meet you exactly where you are. Now, let us open this sacred conversation together with openness and with love. Now let us dive into the heart of our conversation, the mystery of the twin flame. Many people ask, what is a twin flame? Some say it is your other half, the one soul split into two bodies. Others believe it is the person who mirrors back your deepest wounds and your greatest light. What I have come to understand through my own journey is that a twin flame is more than romance. It is a sacred connection designed by the divine to awaken us. For me, this awakening began in 2020. On the first day of my work, I met him. The moment our eyes met, there was an intense spark, an instant recognition. It felt like my soul whispered, "Finally, here you are." I was shocked because from the time I was 10 years old, I had seen him in my dreams. And suddenly, he stood in front of me in the flesh. Life, however, did not unfold in a simple way. A couple of years later, his wife passed away, and only days apart, my husband also passed away. Our colleagues at work began teasing us, trying to match us up, and I began to feel an intense attraction. One I believe he also felt. That was the time I started searching for answers. And I encountered the word twin flame for the very first time. Yet, it was not by accident. This discovery led me deeper into my spiritual journey. Through the connection, I was pulled into experiences I never imagined. I felt the highs of love, the confusion of longing, and eventually, the dark night of the soul. In that dark night, I was stripped bare of illusions, attachments, and even my old self. But from there, something new was born. An awakening, a greater closeness with God, and a surrender to divine timing. You see, my friends, this is what makes the twin flame journey so unique. It is not about getting the person. It is about finding yourself. It is about remembering the soul's truth, even when it hurts, even when it challenges everything you thought you knew about love. The twin flame is like a mirror. They reflect your deepest wounds and insecurities, but also your highest light. They awaken the parts of you that were asleep, calling you into wholeness. That is why many of us feel both intense attraction and deep pain, because the fire of twin flames does not let us remain the same. It transforms us. So if you, dear listener, have ever felt a connection that shook you, that shook your soul, that made you question, that made you search for God, know that you are not alone. This is part of the Ascension path. It is a sacred invitation, not to chase another person, but to embrace your own soul, your own healing, and your oneness with the divine. Now that we have touched on what a twin flame is, let us explore some of the signs of this connection. Because many of us wonder, how do I know if this person is truly my twin flame and not just someone I feel strongly attracted to? Some of the signs I discovered are these. First, there is instant recognition. It is as if your soul remembers them, even if your mind does not. For me, it was that moment when our eyes met, and I felt I had known him forever. Second, there is often an unexplainable pull. No matter how much you try to deny it, no matter how much you resist, something deep within keeps drawing you back. Third, there is the mirroring. Your twin flame reflects your deepest wounds and insecurities, but also your greatest potential and light. They trigger you, yes, but also inspire you to grow. And finally, there is synchronicity. Divine signs, dreams, and events seem to align around this connection, guiding you even when it feels impossible. But with all of these beautiful signs, the journey is never easy. It leads many of us into what is called the dark night of the soul. For me, the dark night came after the loss of my husband and the awakening of this twin flame recognition. I felt torn between grief, longing, and confusion. My heart was burning with questions. Why him? Why now? Why would God allow me to feel this way? The dark night of the soul is like walking through a valley with no light. It strips you of your illusions, your attachments, and sometimes even your sense of identity. But it is also where God reshapes us. In that darkness, I cried. I surrendered. And I felt the divine holding me, teaching me to let go of control. And then slowly, like dawn breaking after a long night, I began to feel lighter. I realized the twin flame journey was not about chasing a person or fulfilling romance. It was about awakening my own soul. I learned that true love is not about possession. It is about freedom. It is about surrendering to God's timing, trusting that if this connection is meant to be, it will unfold in the right way. And if not, the purpose of meeting still remains: to awaken me, to heal me, to lead me back home to myself and to God. And then life surprised me. My twin flame got married. It was a painful truth to accept, but I knew in my soul that it was part of the divine plan. It was the moment I truly surrendered, when I released my grip on what I thought should happen. And I opened my heart to what God wanted for me. And just 2 months later, in February 2024, something beautiful unfolded. A colleague at work introduced me to his cousin. That cousin happened to be my former office mate, someone I had known 14 years ago. And I remember back then, I had a crush on him. But he was already married, and I was still unmarried, so nothing ever happened. He was 12 years older than me, and life took us on different directions. But this time, meeting him again, the timing was different. He too had walked through his own life changes, and I had walked through mine. It felt as though the universe was saying, "You have released. You have surrendered. And now you are ready to receive. What I found in him was not the fiery intensity of a twin flame, but the gentle, steady presence of what I call a high-level soulmate. A connection built on respect, healing, and divine timing. Where the twin flame awakened my soul through fire, this soulmate came as water, soothing, nurturing, and reminding me that love can also be peaceful. This experience taught me that the universe is abundant, that when we let go of chasing and surrender our wants to God, we make space for something new, something aligned, healthy, and beautiful to enter our lives. So if you are listening right now and you have been through the pain of a twin flame journey, remember this. Sometimes the twin flame is not the ending. Sometimes they are only the beginning of your soul's awakening. And beyond the fire, God may bring you someone who is not only meant to awaken you, but to walk with you in peace, in joy, and in love. My dear friends, thank you for walking with me through this sharing of my own twin flame journey. I know that many of you listening may be in the middle of your own soul's unfolding. Perhaps in the fire of intense attraction. Perhaps in the shadows of the dark night. Or perhaps in the gentle embrace of a new beginning. Wherever you are, please remember this. The twin flame journey is never just about another person. It is about your soul's awakening. It is about learning to release control, to let God write the story, and to trust that every meeting has a divine purpose. Sometimes the twin flame stays, and sometimes they move on. But always, they arrive in our lives to shake us awake, to break the shell of who we thought we were, and to guide us closer to our true self. And when we surrender, when we let go with trust instead of fear, the universe responds. It may gift us with healing, with clarity, or even with another soul connection that arrives gently like water after fire, reminding us that love is not only intensity, but also peace. So tonight, my dear friends, I invite you to breathe deeply with me. Place your hand over your heart and let these words settle gently within you. I release what is not mine to hold. I trust in God's divine timing. My soul is whole. My heart is guided. And love will always find me in the right way at the right time. May you walk your journey with faith. May your soul feel nourished. And may you always remember, you are deeply loved beyond what words can say. Thank you for spending this time with me, dear friends. Until we meet again, may peace and light be with you. Good night.